iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted and league events with AI racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Hello and welcome. It's that time of the week again, and a rather almost special time as well. So let's have a bit of music as well to boot. Penultimate round of the season, round 15 of 16, in Season 7 of XSLR. And tonight, it's USA International Speedway. Ah dear, it's always the dirt ovals, isn't it, that brings the action, the drama, the chaos, the excitement. And that's just me and my voice. It's all lies. We're in for a great evening of racing. As always, I'm Tim Cox. I'll also be joining me very shortly, one man called Adam Thompson, providing his insight, his knowledge, his wisdom, which will be completely useless to all of us going, no doubt. But, well, we're going to get stuck into things a little bit. We've got practice ongoing in the background. Not far away, though, from qualifying. Stuck into things. Some of the drivers just sat there chilling, waiting for the session to end. Adam, welcome along. We'll get some of your thoughts and insights now ahead of the usual frivolity, excitement and drama that is heat racing on the dirt ovals in the sprint cars.
Yeah, thanks, Tim, and I will not take that as an insult that my knowledge is useless, because I'm American and you're British, so I know which one is useless.
Exactly.
But no, it's going to be a fun race. We got 6 drivers out here tonight. It's going to be better than last week. I think there's going to be a bit of we're going to be looking back at ourselves here, looking in the mirror. This track seems a bit like Lucas Oil was, especially coming out of 4. There are some bumps when the track starts to wear in. It gets a little bit ruddy there and exit of turn 4 down the front straight. I've seen a couple cars doing wheelies, and I popped one as well. So it's going to be an interesting race.
Will be indeed. We indeed see a Cossack heading out on track. In fact, it's going to be Jake Ham who's going to set the first lap of the evening. That benchmark time on the board. What's it gonna be from him? These short dirt ovals, always action coming at you thick and fast. Thicker than a thick shake. Faster than... Well...
You gotta stop with the innuendos, Tim.
I know. Well,
18.6
seconds. Be a personal record for myself there. Kevin Irwin, let's face it, storming in qualifying of late. Only attempt slower. Ham goes all slower on the second attempt. Erwin goes faster to trim that gap down to under a tenth. Cossack there. We've also got Martin Howard, and well, I just heard from him. There he is. Disappointment to everyone, as always. What are you going to do? Well, top of the time was not bad for your first lap there, is it? Can we disrupt him on the second one? Can he mess this one up? Oh, go on then. You going to mess this one up?
Yeah, you can disrupt me here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be much better. It actually is.
There you go.
Pretty quick.
There you go. Slap that one in 3 tenths faster than anyone else.
Yeah, not bad. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a bit of a lap around here while we got a little bit of time. Got about 2 minutes. I'm coming into turn 3 and turn 4 right now. This is where the bumps are. You can kind of see actually already the bumps starting to affect the car on exit. The car gets super wobbly, but going into turn 1, you can kind of keep this low until the track starts wear out. You can even see the back end kick out there already. And the track hasn't even worn out that much. I've only done about 2 laps, but this is where it gets treacherous. This low side of this track down here on the exit of turn 4, it really starts to get bumpy, and the car does get super wobbly on the exit. So that's going to be something to watch out for. But yeah, what is that? An 18-second lap? These things are going to come at us quick, fast, and in a hurry. And side-by-side racing here is possible. But I kind of said in our driver's brief that this is a bit like Eldora with tighter turns, super long straightaways. This thing is getting into the rev limiter going into the corner. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the track starts to wear away. We're going to get some slide jobs and hopefully some better passes than I attempted on J-Cam last weekend.
You never know. Strange things have happened. Welcome along if you're watching us over on Twitch for the first time ever. Andy Cossack there, benning it. And well, we head across to the first heat of this evening. Let's take a little look at the grid for it. Adam Thompson up on this one. Kevin Irwin and Andy Cossack, no less. Driver who finished first had head straight to the final. And the other two will head across into the consolation, no less. How you feeling about this one? You going to win this? You going to mess it up?
I hope so. I might. I messed up the start, as we all saw last week. The car got super wobbly on me when I got on the throttle. And you know how these things can get the front wheels off the ground. You've been trying it on a controller, and the front wheels do come off the ground if you're not careful on throttle. So as long as I can get off, well, haha, did not mean to say that like that. But as long as I can do well on the start and I keep the front tires underneath me, it should be pretty easy. But, I mean, you never know. Kevin's kind of a wild card. He tends to do really bad and then all of a sudden really good.
Yeah, you never quite know with him. And of course, the only wing car available now, of course, midgets that we ran a few seasons ago here at XSLR, they now have wings. Like a scene out of the start of the absolutely iconic film that is The Wolf of Wall Street, maybe.
Midgets with wings. I love it.
Yes, those of you who know that scene will obviously know exactly what I'm talking about. But we'll wait for the pace truck to pull in. We're getting underway. 8 laps here in the first of 2 heats, and cross into the consolation for the losers, or the losers final, as it's more commonly known here at XSLR. And we get very, very close. We've had a lot of laps beyond the pace track. These short laps really edging out up there, Adam Thompson. Almost banging wheels.
He's doing some squeezing here. He's not really letting me get to the high side of the track. I should have gotten up there a little earlier, so we'll kind of see what happens here on this start. Going to try to actually back him up just a little bit because he's going to think I'm going to go early, and then I'll hit it, and we're off. Front wheels come off the ground, but we are good to go.
That's everyone else in the background. You've got the wheels in the air. Andy Cossack really showed his start. Couldn't get the power down. So he's just cocking the front right wheel there. Like a spaniel after a whole night being cooped up inside. So heading down into lap 2 already. It comes at you thick and fast, this one, but the second, second and a half, although we're not the best of entries into that corner there. Running a bit too deep. That's why he lost the time on exit. And that's why the gap is out to 2 seconds already over Thompson, who's just flying away with this one. No less.
Yeah,
12.
this is the track. When it's super clean like this, it's pretty easy to race. When the track starts to wear in, when you start seeing that slick line, that's when things are going to get a little crazy. I'm kind of just running the middle line right now. I really don't have any pressure at the moment, so just keeping it clean, keeping it safe. I don't want to get too close to any of the walls. But as this track starts to wear in, we're going to start moving further and further up the racetrack. It's where the rear wing angle is going to start coming in handy. It's when passes are going to start being made. This heat race, I don't think, is any indicator of what's going to happen, because anybody can make a mistake when we get into the feature.
They can indeed. 5 out of 8 complete already. This case is just winding down the clock. Although he's just sitting there. He's just starting to catch up with Irwin in these latter stages. Gap down to within a second already. Down from the drone. Really soaring at the wheel there is Irwin. Reminiscent of when he used to go racing back in the day. Lords and gents. He's Barrington Smythe. His old school Triumph car or something like that. Tell you what, 1 lap to go and it's within 3 tenths here. Can Kosick pull off a shot? Of course, this will establish how they line up, but with the white flag out, it's 1 to go, and it's half a second the gap between these two. Thompson's checked out, 4.1 seconds to clear at the front, but I don't think Kosick has got enough within him. Down the back straight for the final time, into 3, and on the exit of 4, practically showboating on the exit there goes Irwin, and he's going to hold on to that second. That's going to grab him pole for the losers final. Kosick, well, he'll start from the second row of that one. Let's take you across into Heat 2 now, and this is how they're going to line up. Jake Ham on the front row for that one. Jimmy Howard.
This is going to be an interesting race here. This is going to be big for Jake and Jimmy, whichever one wins this heat. I'm not saying Lee Martin won't. Lee, obviously, anybody has a chance, but correct me if I'm wrong here, Tim. I do believe the points are only separated by about 2 for second place.
Yeah, but that is a really, really crucial point at the championship coming to this key stage. There's only 2 points between Howard and Ham. Howard leads Ham coming into this one. And this is really, really decisive. I mean, I think it's though with the heat racing, though, as you know yourself, and those who are more accustomed to it, is that, well, I mean, in some ways, it's all, the heats, the consolation, it's all immaterial, realistically, because it's all about what's going to, that final. And anything can happen, will happen. Of course, we've got cautions as well. That plays a part of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously no cautions in the heat, but I think the big thing here is going to be who's going to line up to the outside of me in second place, because the second place, whoever finishes in second here is going to go to the consolation. Even if they win that consolation, they're going to be on the second row behind whoever wins this feature race. So it's interesting to me to see. I'm sorry. The person that wins a consolation will line up behind me in third place. So it's really, you want to be on that front row. You don't want to be back in that pack. As you know, things can get a little bit hairy. The further back in the pack you go, the more sprint cars you have doing unpredictable things, the less predictable you can make your race.
There's that pace truck just taking them around. In this lap, we see those lights off on the truck, indicating it will be in this lap. Still got a little bit more before we wait till that comes in. I said, actually, we're through 3 already. Waiting for it to pull in. Let's get ready to go racing. Second time this evening. Ham does not hang around. Wheelies across the start line to take the green. And he gets the whole shot down into 1. What? Wow. I mean, Howard and Ham, are 2 long-established members of this league, and they come to blows before. Are we going to see the same tonight, do you think? Or do you think they go, they know what's at stake here, and just maybe play a little bit cleaner as well? Oh, we see Ham skirting with the car on exit. Howard looking a lot more cleaner at this stage.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Ham seems to be really sliding that car, especially on exit. Jimmy seems to be keeping the car much more underneath him. The straighter you can keep these cars in the corner, the faster you go. It's not like drifting, even though it looks like they are. This is more of a controlled drift, a lot like the Pro 4 trucks, where you want to try to keep the truck as straight as possible around the corners. And right now, Jimmy seems to be doing that better. He's now following Jake's line. You can see him kind of experimenting with different lines. It's really just all going to come down to if Jimmy can get to him or not. It's about 0.5 of a second. It's holding steady. Jake may have moved that wing back just a little bit, but to your other point very quickly here, Tim, I think they know what's on the line. They know what's at stake. They know they need to beat each other. And if I know Jimmy Howitt as well as I think I do, he does like to race clean, but he will race hard. He knows what's at stake. There are payouts in this league. I have a feeling we might see some fireworks.
Half a second between the pair of them, but time running out for Howard and running out fast here. On to 6 out of 8. 3 laps left remaining in this race, including the one that we're on. As well, Lee Martin there just slapping in fastest lap of the race casually. Might be sat at the back and well out of contention looking in this one. 1.7 seconds behind them. Still giving it a good fight here. It's that gap. It's steadfast, isn't it? Half a second. Howard could not break that margin.
That's the issue when the track is clean like this, is Jake gets really close to the wall there. He looks like he kept it off there, but when the track is super clean, there's no lines. It makes it super hard to make any passes. Last lap here, but I'm looking back here at Lee right now, Tim. He's learning a lot watching these guys drive. He clearly fastest lap by over 1/10 of a second. Lee's sitting back there learning.
If that was a tap on the wall there from Howard, as he really pushing hard, but it's how he's going to win this second heat of this evening. Meaning Howard's going to have to do it the hard way through the consolation, aka the losers final. So we're going to head across to that very, very shortly. Let's bring up the grid. Erwin and Howard on the front row. Kosick and Martin on the row 2.
Let's see if they learned anything about the starts in this heat race. Hopefully they did, because this could end in catastrophe here if they didn't. I saw Kevin get super wonky there on the start behind me. So hopefully they learned a little bit. Throttle application is super key, very key.
I'm glad you used the letter O there as your choice of vowel in that word. Otherwise,
yes.
Same sort of meaning, just we're marked for mature audiences. So we can call it wanky if we want.
Oh, I see. I see what you said there.
Yeah, you see what I've done? It's got midnight here, so it's fine. I know, not quite yourself on the West Coast, just come up to 5:30 local time for yourselves.
Yeah, no, it's great. America, again, another reason why America is the best country, the United States, I should say, is the best country, is because we have time zones that are much better than you guys. And
we invented time. That's why we're on 0.
And then you screwed yourself.
Well, that's why you're ranked 17 on the World Index of Freedom for the world's freest country. Go figure that one out. If you think, you'd like to know which countries are ahead of America, feel free to let me know in the chat, and I will let you know and update you going through this one. Lights out on the pace truck there. That means it's going to be in this time around, although just approaching turn 1, so a little bit of time to consider that one. Now, it's the start, isn't it? This, like you said, it's going to be so crucial. Kevin Irwin in charge of it, though. I don't
like that.
No. This could go one of two ways. I mean, does he go early? Does he leave it right to the last second? Wait for that green flag? The choice is all his. He could back up the pack now if he's clever about it. Plenty of pace between himself and the pace truck, and then go for it very early.
He could,
through turns 3 and 4. Although he's definitely not going to do that because we're already at turn 3, so it's completely immaterial.
Yeah, he could. You got to be careful here too. Obviously, XSLR rules is you have to hold pace truck speed, and Kevin is going way early. Jimmy way up on his rear wheels. Gets into Andrew. They're okay. I think they're okay. They're okay. Holy crap.
Wow, that was a bit tight there between the pair of them. Oh,
Jimmy's got to chase him down, and we'll see what happens. But now we've got a battle here between Andrew and Lee. These guys are not to be messed with. Andrew had the second fastest practice time in the practice session, so he is not slow.
no, he's not. So we've got 10 laps in this consolation. Rather than the 8 had both of the heats. Well, it's starting to just nullify a little bit. Drivers settling down into this one as we head out onto lap 3. It's Kevin Irwin setting the pace, though. 18.
He's already within 0.5 of a second, though. Jimmy has gained about a second in 2 laps. Jimmy is clearly the fastest car right now.
Let's find out. I mean, he couldn't quite catch Ham in Heat 2, could he? I mean, he's really eating Irwin up for breakfast right now. Definitely had his Weetabix, but can he make the pass? Catching is one thing, passing is another. What does he elect to do? He's looking to sweep around that high line. Almost toying with Irwin a little bit, trying to make him drive in his mirrors. As if these cars were actually to have mirrors, that is.
This is great driving right now between both of them. Jimmy, I'd expect to see a bit of a slide drop here. They got 5 laps left. You can see the track starting to wear away just a little bit. This is when the passing... Jimmy has got to get down on that low line. He's really got to send it here on Kevin. This corner, it looks like he's going to do it.
There you go. There you go. He's through. But Irwin, that really highlight. What you said about him, Andy Kosick, need to be really careful of him because he's within half a second of these two. And
yeah, Andy's showing up all of a sudden here. Andy running that low line is working really well for him. Kevin's still staying on the high line. I don't know. I think Kevin's really got to start seeing where these other drivers are running through these corners.
Here we go.
Because Andy is closing in.
There you go. And also, look at Lee Martin. Out of nowhere, with these two getting really slippery and snaky off each of the corners, it's really holding up and slowing down their pace. Whereas Martin now... Oh, he's in with a bit of a shot here to be the surprise outfit in all of this. And you see Kosick just really struggling the exit out of 2 there, coming down really, really low off the corner exit.
Track is really starting to wear away here. You can see him running through that slick line. They're going to have to change that lineup if they don't want to lose much time. When I say that now Kevin's running through the slick line as well. Look at how loose he gets on corner exit.
The pair of them, both as almost as bad as each other. Martin just starts to drop a little bit by the wayside. But they're going to say white flag. 1 to go here. Going to say International Raceway. And who's going to get it between these two again? Oh, that's in the wall. And surely that's going to end it for Kosick. And surely that's going to hand Irwin that second place. How is going to win this one at a canter, though? 1.4 seconds clear of the field. It's Irwin, Kosick, and then Martin. Well, a little bit surprised by that one, maybe, that we just didn't see, Howard pull away maybe as much as what we may normally expect him to do so.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting here, but it seemed as if Jimmy, as the track started to wear in, that's when Jimmy really started to come into his own. So we'll see if Jimmy can do that again. We're out here on the warm-up right now, trying to get this track worn in the best we can so it creates more lines, more racing lines, more ways to pass.
So we're getting to the tactics now, isn't it? The longer final. How you proceed with that one?
Yeah, this is all going to be... It's going to be... I'm going to say an endurance race, and I know people are going to laugh at me when I say that, but that's what this is. It's hitting your marks every lap and just trying to keep the car underneath you. This track will wear away. I mean, you saw we only ran 2 heats, and then in that consolation race, you could see how loose everybody was getting towards the end of it. We've got 30 laps with all 6 cars on the track now in a 7-minute warm-up. So, yeah, it's gonna start to create some issues for these guys. They've really got to figure out how to drive in the slick stuff.
So, not long left in this session. We head across into the final. 6 minutes or no, so 5 minutes remaining in this one. How's that track wearing in? starting to come a bit more loose, as you think, or you think it's going to make enough of an impact?
Well, I think we're going to make an impact. I can see me and the 149 car, Lee Martin, are actually out here running. Jake's just running super slow. He clearly likes a stickier track. But I noticed that Andrew, Lee, and Jimmy, all three of them really started to get much quicker as the track wore in just a little bit. So yeah, Jake's just kind of running around right now, trying to keep the track as sticky as possible. Meanwhile, we got Lee out here doing some hot laps with me. I can feel the back end of the car getting a little bit looser, but it's not really as slick as I think I wanted to get it for the start of the race. But I'd say about lap 20 is when things are going to get a little bit wild.
That's your prediction then. I mean, last week we saw the competition caution, which really sort of jumbled things up a little bit, didn't it? In terms of the running order, and but then even said that, we did have, plenty of yellows within the race as well, and of course when they aren't, those yellow laps aren't counted towards the race distance here in the dirt. I mean, again, it's become, like you said, a bit more of an almost endurance event, and it's those drivers who can stay more switched on mentally, as Kevin Irwin amazingly gets appearing to get lost on a oval track. You don't need to turn left. You don't need a sat-nav for that one.
No, well, you don't, but you might need a sat-nav if your car ends up going right and you have no idea where you are. A lot of times, these cars can get flipped around and you get a little bit disoriented. So you might need a sat-nav for that, but these cars are not meant to turn right, and if you're turning right, there is clearly an issue.
So always love to hear from you at home, who you're supporting. Who you think is going to walk away with this final victory in the penultimate round of the season? As we mentioned to you, really close to that battle in the championship between Ham and Howard. They're going to walk away from this round with that one. This remains interesting to see. Was final coming up from Knoxville, no less. Again, another circuit. Haven't been there in a little while in this series either.
It's been a long time. I'm excited to go back to Knoxville. Much different track. You've got that big berm on the inside, so you can't really drive it like any other dirt track. That berm does create some problems as well. So super fast. Probably end up doing about 150, 160 miles an hour around there. And when you're running around on dirt in what's basically a shell of a car, it's pretty quick.
Actually, even closer, apologies. The championship coming into this penultimate run. 1 point separating Howard and Ham. See the driver ahead as he heads out on track, and starting to begin a bit of the mind games as I'm just seeing Ham just pull off the inside there and head back to the pit. Not long left in this one. Could probably because he's about to type in the chat. If you have the skills, then he'd be able to do both at the same time.
Well, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but we're making it work. And I didn't want to. I've heard you sitting up here by yourself the whole season, Tim, and you just sound lonely. I mean, you're British already, so I know your life sucks. And then you have to sit up here by yourself as well. I do. Couldn't do that to you.
I had Jack and Daniel to keep me company in the early parts of the season.
Yes.
Except for a bit of a overindulgence, which involves hiccups for the entire stream.
I was wondering what that was. Got it.
Yeah, that didn't exactly. Not one of my finest moments. Bishop Celeste, thank you for your kind offer. Thank you for your kind offer in the Twitch chat. That's a bit of a cheats way of doing it, my friend. We're about the old school. We're about the grind. 30 seconds left in the warm-up. Get underway for the final. Who will take this one?
Track's starting to wear in now, Tim. Pretty pretty good. There's starting to become a slick line there on the bottom side, so I think we're going to have actually a really good race. I'm starting to see some dirt up there around the wall where the berm is. We call it running the cushion, and I think that's really going to be you're going to have to do that here towards the end of this race. So I'm very happy with how this track is worn in.
At least someone's happy anyway. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is final time. Here we go. This is how they will line up for it. Thompson on the front row with Ham. Howard starts behind his championship foe. Second place in the championship. Howard lying second in his championship. Starting behind Ham. Erwin on the second row with Howard. Cossack and Martin bringing up the rear. Let's go. Let's go for this one. Deep breaths, I feel, for this one. Deep breaths. Well, there might be a few drivers on these, certainly in these opening stages where it's a little bit dicey. Might be holding their breath for this one. You think someone remembers to put the mic on mute even. Well,
there we go. My bad.
Yeah. Shocking. Shocking at best. Here we go. Pace truck is off. 2 laps behind the pace truck. Get accustomed. Get used to it. Feel, of course, all the drivers been out in that session prior, the warm-up session, just getting a feel of the track. I suppose all the more essential for yourself having ran in Heat 1 and then, all that time just sat around doing nothing.
Well,
it makes it a little more challenging because, the track's changed quite a bit since then.
It does, yeah. I mean, I ran on the freshest track that we had, and with me wearing it in there in the warm-up, and obviously the other drivers wearing it in as well, it's going to get more interesting here. I think the start might be a little bit better with the slicker track. It's not as sticky. Everyone should be able to get away a little cleaner. I hope, at least. We're about to find out, but yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how this is going to go.
Not the only one. Not the only one. Lights off on that pace track. I'm starting on the front row there. Sometimes the harder position to start from is second. We'll be looking to capitalise on that one. Getting the jump on him. Down into turn 1. They end up coming to blows. Not long to find out as we head into 3. Pace track will be pulling off immediately on the exit of 4. Here we go, folks. Pace truck is in. Let's get ready to go racing for the final time this evening as we are green and already as Howard's gone. Everyone left chewing over one another through the collision. But Howard checked out early on. He's gone. And is that damage to your car there, Adam? Oh, the front left is shot to pieces. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. Something's happened to Howard as well. Is he struggled after the initial big jump? He got away and no yellow either. That's the crucial part here. We're having a bit of everyone's slowing down a little bit. There you go. Yellow is out now. Well, a bit of a false start already. Let's take a little look back to that green flag and I see exactly where it all went down and everyone just came together.
Yeah, it was a weird start there. I don't quite know what happened. I'm just trying to get this thing back to the pits at this point. Really no idea what exactly started or what happened. You might have to explain, Tim, because I'm sitting in the car.
No, some other angles here. Oh, so yourself there, Adam, just turning right under acceleration a bit. J-Cam just getting all the front wheels up off the ground. We'll just bring it from another angle. Let's see if we can get it from the XSLR chopper, no less. There we go. This should give us maybe a bit of a top-down view. And, oh, yeah, just put the power down and then end up turning right and just, well, like the ending to an orgy, everyone came together.
Well, I'm glad the drivers in the league decided to basically do a restart of that start. Obviously, we're not going to be in the same positions, but yeah, they all decided to go ahead and give her a restart here, obviously.
But it's shuffled around largely, so we will restart with J-Cam on the front of... Oh, will it be Lee Martin? It's going to be between Lee Martin on the inside there, so he will be the one to control this and get this back underway again once more. So the grid just cycling around there. I do believe be Kevin Irwin and Andy Kossick on the second row with yourself and Jimmy Howe coming from the rear. The back row of the grid. That's everyone. There you go. That's answering that one. So Ham will be on pole. One just cycling around, sorting themselves out a bit here and confusing the hell out of me, no less, and probably SDK.
So we're restarting the grid basically. We're restarting the race. Hang on. Yeah, I went ahead and extended the yellow. We're basically You're
putting it back. We're resetting. We're going again, is what you're saying. You're attempting to
Yes.
say.
Going again. Apologies, Tim. I'm listening to the guys in the chat as well as trying to talk on the stream. I can drive and talk. I cannot listen and drive and talk. I think 3 is my limit there.
Like with your beers, so I hear as well. 3 is your limit.
It's not the only thing that 3 is my limit on, Tim, but
no,
it's not. It's a family show.
It's not. Yeah. Hot dogs in a hot dog eating contest as well, I believe.
Yes.
All that sausage, too much for you. Anyway, right, pace truck in. Let's go racing once again, and we get away. Ooh, a bit cleaner this time. But it's Irwin who's bouncing around at the front end of his car. How scampering away, utilising the clean dirt up and fresh dirt up high. Really get some traction and get away out in front. So we head out now onto what is lap 4. Numerous laps behind the pace truck. Everyone's settling in, finding their groove at this early stage of the race. So, Carpenter Kevin win. I think that may well have been off the start. Let's take a little look. Yes, it was. Yeah, really struggled with the start to get the power down. So we can really apply the power on these cars. Front wheels come up in the air. Did that, had a couple of goes at it. Eventually getting going again once more. Remain unchanged. Oh, do we? Oh, that beautiful little move to shut the door firmly in Ham's face there. Well, Irwin having another separate issue. We'll stick with this battle for now. As he's jumped to the pits, it's been that bad. Ham just now tucking in behind Thompson. Will he stick it? He likes to go down low, and is he going to get the slide job? Oh, Lex couldn't quite bring it up high enough and fast enough. Let's tuck back in to second. Let's take a look at what happened to Kevin Irwin to cause him to jump to the pits. Really struggling today. And, oh, okay, that almost looks like a bit of a hardware failure there potentially for him. Still in pit road.
It's unfortunate that, stuff like that happens. Obviously, this is one of the better sims that you can get, but you can't really get rid of the technology factor all the way.
It's we don't have mechanical failures in this sim, so it's the closest thing you're going to get to it, isn't it? Realistically, That's how close is Jake Hunt to the wall there on the exit out of 4 and grazing it, but that is the fastest way around, to be as close to the wall as possible. Well, be as close as you like. As long as you don't hit it, that's the main thing. It's millimeters away there, and start to feel like this is me, or that track's starting to really wear in now. Quite a few people seem to be struggling for grip on corner exit. You see the rear really moving around.
Yeah, it's wearing in big time. I'm already running this top line here. It's helping me quite a bit on the corner exit. I don't know if it's worn in enough to be doing this, but I'm just trying to keep it underneath me. The one thing you don't want to do, especially on the exit of 4, hitting those bumps, is be sideways.
Thompson leads from Ham. Howard third. That will also those two to swap around in the championship, and Ham a little bit of a lead over Howard. Difference between the two places: 30 points for second, 26 for third. So coming into that final round, there will be 3 points if they finish as they are right now between the pair of them. She's still going to be as close as you like, but realistically, Howard really needs to try to find a way past Ham. We've just to close that gap up. I mean, 1 second the gap is fully neutralised here. Hasn't shrunk at all. Well, having said that, Howard was a 10th faster last time around. We'll get some times here to cut the timing beam once again. Again, that's 2 tenths from Howard, taken out of Ham. Oh dear, more problems for when he left the pit, and then he's had an issue again once more. So apparently he's crashed again. Got out onto the track. Does he lighten up? No. Oh, there we go. Got going eventually. As he plows straight into the wall. You can really see from that top-down view from the helicopter just how the driver's really struggling for grip there. Showcased again by Howard. Struggling to find that line to get it to work for him in this stage of the race. While Ham is checking out. Looks a little bit weaker across the last few laps. It's really come alive now. So to find that groove, find that line here. Head out to lap 18 out of 30.
That cushion's really starting to come in on that top line. You get this car far enough up on that wall, you'll kind of feel the back tire get into that cushion. You don't want to hop the tire over the top of it, but that really gives you a lot of rear end grip and stability. It's you're fighting. It's a knife edge though, as I almost messed it up there.
Wow, dancing with death a little bit there. As close to the wall as you dare get. That's what the grip is. It's where you gotta go. It's just how brave you feel heading towards it. So Thompson just eking that gap out. Half a 10th at a time per lap over Ham. So it's now out to 1.5, making it 1.6 seconds come the end of this lap. It's crucially Ham is starting to struggle now against Howard. He's just ultra consistent. 19.6, 19.6 again for him. It's all he knows how to run. Right now, it is working for him, man. Meanwhile, off camera, just got past Martin. There's Martin, not once, not twice. 3 times the charm there, slapping the wall and riding it right round the corner. Meanwhile, this gap is shrunk down once again. We're down to 3/4 of a second. And it is 2 tenths that Howard is faster than Ham.
It looks like Jimmy's actually really closing that gap back there, Tim. This is turning into a race.
It is. It's starting to come together a little bit now for Howard. He's been so consistent in terms of the line he's running, but the clock running down. 23 out of 30, 7 to go. Sub 20-second laps. He's running out of time fast for Howard. And yes, he might be able to catch him, but then he's got to try and find a way past. It's a little bit down low, but yeah, although going down low onto what's been almost like the slicker line, he's closing that gap up once more. Here we go. He's got it to within 6 tenths of a second. slower on corner entry where Ham's running it in deeper. But Howard's so more better on the exit from that shallower entry where he's just finding that grip where nobody else is at this stage of the race. It's down to half a second and Ham loose on corner exit out of 2. Here we go. We're going to have 27 when we come across the line out of 30 complete. I'm not sure it's going to have enough time left on the clock for Howard to get past Ham, bar a major mistake from him as see yourself. I'm just starting to come up on a bit of traffic there.
I am, and we may be running into a bit of an issue here with fuel. It's going to be really close. We have fixed setups on, and I'm saying I've only got about a lap of fuel left.
Oh, mistake from Ham, and Howard goes for it right round the outside. Has Ham run out of fuel? I think Ham's run out of fuel. Yeah,
I believe
he's out of fuel. He's gone. He is gone. But has Jimmy Howard realised? I mean, he's cruising now. Absolutely cruising. As the yellow comes out here on lap 28. That'll be due to Ham, who's, well, just run out of fuel. He can't do anything about it. Howard heads to pit road. And a real turn of events here right at the depth. And, well, you spotted it. Jake Ham didn't. I guess Howard back out of the pits. Trying to see, so who did manage to get to pit road? Well, Kosick and Martin. Oh, mine haven't. So they haven't headed to pit road. Have they spotted they've got enough fuel potentially?
Yeah, this is not a good thing because you cannot refuel.
Oh,
with these cars. So
well, ladies and gentlemen, another vintage moment in the XSLR book. We had when the lights went out in Formula cars at Silverstone about 5 seasons ago. And now where you can't refuel, we don't have enough fuel in the... So hold on, who is still turning laps here? So Howard is out, but he will be... He should be ahead of Ham because he had more fuel on board. Kevin Irwin still going, but he's too far down to actually make up any places now. Welcome to what could well be the slowest finish ever in iRacing.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, Tim. I'm actually going to hop in to the Discord over there. I'm going to leave you to your own devices and go figure out what the hell's going on and what to do here.
Oh. Fred, 32V. Go Moistman, 50. Oh, he's there. He's kept himself alive here. Jake Ham's come in and gone out again, although it's all immaterial, really. Maybe finding enough gas in the tank. Just bump himself along a little bit. A pace truck in. I mean, we've only got 2 laps left to go. And this comes down to who's got the most amount of fuel in their car. An ending like you've quite possibly never seen it before. Who's conserved enough fuel here to get themselves to the end? Martin a little bit squirrely. White flag in the air, so it's 1 to go. Who's going to limp their way across the line here? Thompson leads by 3/4 second there with Kosick. Martin still out there and running. And Thompson's out. He's gone. He's gone. Andy Kosick's the lead, and Martin's going to come past as well. An unexpected turn of events, and Andy Kosick, Mr. Moist Mint, is going to take the victory here over Martin. Thompson in 3rd. You'll hear the silence of a engine which no longer has any gas. Take in, and well, you can see the fireworks getting started here, and that's a man as he breaks dance to victory, getting real that top wing. Under, I mean, like a finish you've never even seen before. Thanks. Under the fireworks, Andy Cossack is going to walk away with this one here. You think you've seen it all? You think you've seen it all? Oh, Lee Martin's still going. He's got fuel for days. Going calm. Well, abandoned like a discarded empty packet of ham on the side of the road. As a driver, he kept an eye on his fuel. He's still going, is Lee Martin. He did a couple of extra laps. Well. Even now he's still going, obviously, because he's a few laps down. That's why he's got fuel in his tank. I'll try and bring you up to date with what exactly, how this one's going to pan out, whether we're going to roll it back. What I mean, it's not... At the end of the day, it's down to yourself to manage your fuel. So, as Kevin Inman continues to tour around the circuit, Lim Material, tell you that Andy Cossack... I can't even bring you. Can I? Let me bring you some results. Yes, it will. So there we go. Andy Cossack with a victory in the 50 Moist Bin Racing Machine. Lee Martin second. Adam Thompson third. Jimmy Howard fourth. Jake Camp fifth. And Kevin Irwin finishes in sixth. Thanks to, well, the being that instant route, meaning his laps and laps down. Let's have a chat to, well, our winner today. So we'll just drag him. We'll get everything aligned here. We'll flick it across. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Cossack, no less. I mean, wow. Congratulations.
The dark horse is here.
Were you keeping an eye on your fuel at all? I mean, nobody else was, let's face it.
My crew chief told me at lap 16 that I didn't have enough fuel to finish. And I know that we can't stop and put fuel in these cars, so I really had no choice but to slow down to try to save fuel, and I apparently oversaved, but it was enough. I knew with 2 to go, I didn't know if Adam was going to have enough or not, but I thought I'm going to run him as hard as I can because I had enough to do victory burnouts and things after the race, so I knew I could push him till the end. And luckily, he ran out on the back straight, so I could just drive right by.
I mean, it's always a bit of a lottery, isn't it, with those types of situations of knowing whether you can have enough fuel or not. I mean, that prolonged caution early on definitely would have played a part of it.
It's funny you say that because during the last caution, we went around and the fuel doesn't go down during caution laps, so we don't understand what happened here.
Either way, you got to keep it. That's what you got crew chief for to tell you, and you listened, my friend, and well, that's what took you to victory here. I mean, obviously coming on to that final lap, gap's pretty stagnant. You don't know what. It's like a game of poker, isn't it? You don't know who's got what fuel on board, and I mean, how surprised were you see Adam Thompson to run out, and then I mean, yourself and Lee Martin practically nearly tripped up over him, and I mean, you could have ended up taking yourselves out, and nobody finishing.
I had several close calls where I had the car all kinds of sideways. This track is different than the other two, and I've got three uh, races experience with this car, so I was learning as I go and trying to manage the throttle and steering inputs on the slippery part of the turn four was and turn two was a little bit of a challenge. Well, luckily I kept it off the wall and and kept going. Although I gave up time a couple times because of that. So, um, but then at the end they were all on the radio talking about not having enough fuel. So by then I'd already done my job.
Just saying, coming into that final lap, coming into turn three, just taking a large chunk of the grass on the inside there with a big old bump. I mean, when you clip that, that must have been a bit of nervy times of trying to hold it together, knowing that literally you are, what, 2 corners away from victory.
Yeah, just trying to keep it together, right? Super easy on the throttle, but I wanted to try to come down on the inside and shorten the corner a little bit. I just went a little bit too far in, but wasn't did not feel out of control at that point.
No, either way, worked an absolute treat for yourself and walk away with the victory here today. Congratulations, Andy Cosick, Mr.
Thank
Moistman,
you,
Fred32V. He's been there, in the chat cheering you on as well. So you're in good hands. Congratulations, my friend. Right,
thank you.
let's have a chat to our second place finisher. Next up will be Lee Martin joining us in the booth. Let's drag him on down. Here he is. Mr. Lee Martin. Congratulations. I mean, yourself and Andy Cosick listening to Crew Chief and understanding you didn't have enough fuel on board. But having said that, that final lap was certainly, turns 3 and 4. I mean, you nearly fell over Adam Thompson.
I wasn't expecting everybody to slow down that quick, but I sure as heck knew I wasn't going to be quick enough to win, so I figured saving fuel was my only shot.
Hey, it worked an absolute treat, didn't it? In second, I mean, having said that, some decent battles, and in both your heats and the final as well, slapping in some fastest laps of the race as well to boot too.
Yeah, sadly, it took me about half of each of the heats to figure out where the line was. I guess I wasn't a quick enough learner.
Hey, I mean, works every time. Got there in the end. And the thing is, you made it work when it most counted. I mean, as I imagine, certainly that start as well. The first start in the final. Must have been a bit of nervous times for you, seeing everyone just come together and just collide in one pack right in front of you.
It was a little bit of my life passing before my eyes there. I just figured I was going to cool it hang on the outside, and fortunately, they all went low instead of high.
Well, either way, it all came together nicely. Second place here in the dirt from USA International. Congratulations, Lee Martin.
Hey, thanks, man. Great broadcast. Appreciate you as always.
Let's move on to our third place finisher. We'll have a chat to him now, Mr. Adam Thompson. Obviously, chatting to him throughout the race. Andy and Lee both listened to Crew Chief, tell them that they didn't have enough fuel to finish the race, whereas not quite everyone else seemed to, well, including yourself, I would assume, gave it as much attention.
Yeah, that's not what should happen in dirt ovals. I don't quite understand what went on there. Obviously, we run fixed setups, and it should have given us enough fuel to get to the end of the race. And I feel terrible for Jimmy and Jake, and those guys that shouldn't have had to deal with that and did. But I don't know. I really don't know, and it's really doesn't affect me that much. I took third, but I mean, who cares? I've already won the championship. But really, for Jimmy and Jake, it's not good, and that's
Well, we'll have a quick you say about that. In terms of the points difference for the pair of them, obviously there would have been 4 points difference between second and third, which is where they were running for majority of the race. And Jake Hammer's going to close out that one with themselves finishing fourth for Jimmy Howard and and fifth for Jake Ham. A 3 points differential between the pair of them. So ultimately, we're still pretty much at odds even coming into that final round, and no real difference in terms of how they would have finished per se if there hadn't been a fuel issue.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad it ended like that. It shouldn't have. And of course, this is the first time we stream on Twitch and something like that happens. But
Yes.
no, I'm glad that it's going to end up okay. And I think we might go racing next weekend and close out this championship. And it's going to be a battle there for second place. And I think I might keep myself out of that one and let those guys go try to win the race and win the championship. Well, take second at least.
And set it to have lots and lots of fuel, undoubtedly.
Absolutely. That will not happen again. Kind of like the lights going out at Silverstone. Made that mistake one time.
Yes, and trying to keep things real, not realising in the winter what time the sun sets in the UK.
Yes.
On
Yes.
that bombshell. Congratulations, third. Commiserations. I don't know. Either way, Adam Thompson. Wow. Dramatic endings aplenty. Oh. Is that gonna... For some reason, it just doesn't want to let go of Kevin Irwin. We'll see if we can... Will it clear itself? I don't know. Oh, it's all had a bit of a... Oh, it's all having a moment here. Oh, there we go. A few gremlins in the system. Wow, ladies and gentle folk. What a race. So, cue the music. Wow. We came, we saw. Those that listened to their crew chief and how much fuel on board, well, they conquered, didn't they, Andy Cossack and Lee Martin? Those who didn't left floundering. Maybe should have known better, some might say. You never quite know. We will be back, well, a little bit up in the air. We're meant to have a 2-week break now for Easter, but may well be back next week at Knoxville to close out the season. Sim racing. Don't have anything better to do with our lives. We have friends and hobbies, families. It's all immaterial. Anyway, absolute pleasure having you all on board. And as you join us on Twitch, thank you very much for doing so. Everyone who drops us some messages in the chat. Great to have you all on board as always. From myself, Tim Coxman, absolute pleasure here from USA International. Congratulations to Andy Cossack, winner here today. Lee Martin second, Thompson third. I will see you next time. Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye.